What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in for another video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. If you want, you can go back and check out all the other videos we got on the channel. We got a full catalog, a full collection of videos, and I feel like all of them are great bass fishing content to help you guys catch more bass. You know, that's the goal of this channel, is to help you guys catch more bass. So go back and check out some of the other videos if you guys are new to the channel. Anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We're talking about springtime crankbait fishing here today. I'm out on the water doing a little bit of just that, and I'm going to walk you through, you know, the whole process, what I'm looking for as far as areas, you know, structure, that type of stuff. And then we're going to get into the good stuff, the baits, the rods, reels, line, the equipment side of things as well, and see if we can't catch a fish or two along the way. But appreciate you guys as always, and let's jump in and talk about some crankbait fishing. Okay, so like I said, we are in the spring. This is it's March. We're doing a little fishing in March, and you know, for me, when I'm throwing a crankbait, basically I kind of divide crankbait fishing into two categories: either pre-spawn crankbait fishing or post-spawn crankbait fishing. So when now we're talking general here. This is generally speaking, if I'm throwing a crankbait pre-spawn, before the bass spawns, that water is going to be colder. It's probably going to be below, what, 60, 65 degrees. So that water is going to be on the colder side. I'm picking up a crawfish colored crankbait, like this one right here. This is the Bill Lewis MR6. You see it's a red and orange color. It's a crawfish color. That's what I pick up first every single time in that pre-spawn phase. I pick up a crawfish color, whether it's a brown and orange, brown and red, all orange. Some sort of crawfish variation is what I'm picking up, because generally speaking, again, we are going to be cranking around rock in the springtime. You know, the bass love to use rock to warm up in the spring before they spawn. So they're going to be around rock, and I want a bait that looks like a crawfish. So that's why I choose that. Now, on the flip side of that, when I'm throwing a crankbait in that post-spawn time frame, generally speaking, it's going to be more of a shad color, you know, more of a white, a pearl, citrus shad, something like that. But we're getting off topic. That's not springtime crankbait fishing. But I wanted to mention that just, you know, before we get into the nitty-gritty here. Generally speaking, this is all crawfish colored or crawfish designed crankbaits that I'm throwing here in the spring. So now let's split springtime crankbait fishing into two categories as well. So basically you have your shallower stuff, I would say from 0 to 6 feet. That's what we're going to classify as the shallower springtime cranking. And then you have your 6 to 12 foot range. That's really the two ranges that I focus on in the spring. Because like I said, the bass are trying to slide up shallow. They're trying to get up there and spawn. So they're going to be generally a little bit shallower than later in the year or in the winter. So I'm looking for some rock in those two depth ranges is generally what I'm targeting. So for the shallower one, we'll start with that. You know, an excellent choice right here. This is, like I said, the MR6. So it's a 6-foot diving crankbait. You know, there's lots of great options in this range. The DT6 is probably the OG that really got it popular in this range. But I really like the MR6 for that range because it's a lot more durable. You can see this guy's beat up, banged up. He's been bounced around the rocks and hit off who knows what. And the bill doesn't break. It's super durable. You can get some grass hung up on him, slap him off the water, and you don't have to worry about him breaking in half. So that's why I really like the MR6, because I can just cover water and not have to really baby the bait. So it's an excellent bait for that deeper side of the shallow zone. And now, you know, when you're getting up really shallow, let's say 4 foot or less, you pick up a square bill style crankbait. There's lots of great options on that as well. This is the Bill Lewis SB57. It's a little bit bigger square bill. You know, it's got a circuit board lip, so it acts a little bit different than a plastic style lip. You know, Bill Lewis makes a ATV square bill, which is super durable. That's the all-terrain vehicle. You can take him anywhere, run him through wood or rocks or whatever you may want to throw him through, and he deflects and gets right out of there. But as you can see, bright red, orange colors, that's what I'm going with in the spring every single time. So square bill fishing, DT6, MR6 type fishing. Let's dive into the equipment. So the line, I like throwing a fluorocarbon line. So this is Seaguar InvizX fluorocarbon. I like the InvizX because, you know, it's extremely abrasion resistant, because you're going to be bouncing this bait in and out of the rocks a lot. And, you know, if you have a very soft line that could get nicked up or frayed up from those rocks, you end up losing a lot of baits. So you want an extremely abrasion resistant line, and that's exactly what the InvizX does. And it helps your bait get down to depth and act properly. So super thin for being a 12-pound line, and very abrasion resistant. So 12-pound InvizX for me. And then let's get down to the rod. So the rod, this is a you know, something that I've started using this year. This is the Phoenix crankbait rod. So this is the X10. Phoenix crankbait series rods and the X10. So the X10 is a 7-foot, what do they classify it as? 7-foot mod fast. So it's very soft. That's what I like about a square bill rod, because a lot of these fish, you know, they'll just kind of load up on it. They're not really going to swallow it, or they're not going to really, you know, grab it and run away from you. It's just going to kind of get heavy and load up, and you want that rod to do a lot of the work on that side of things. So I like a very soft rod for my shallow square bill fishing like that. And that's exactly what this X10 does right here. It's a 7-foot medium, moderate fast, excellent little crankbait rod for shallow fishing. Now on the reel side of things, this is a Corrado 151. I use a left-handed reel. I think it's the MGL. It's the newer Corrados. I got those at Fish USA, so that's a excellent place to get all your reels. I'm using Shimano reels that I got from Fish USA this year. And yeah, I like a slower gear ratio as well. Kind of with the soft rod, I want a slow gear ratio, just because I'm crawling that bait over the rocks. And you know, the slower you can move that bait, you're not really trying to burn it away from him necessarily. You're just trying to slowly crawl it around, deflect, dart all over those rocks. So I like a 6.2 gear ratio on my reel for my springtime cranking. So that covers the shallow water setup right there. Now let's get into the little bit deeper setup. So that's going to be this guy right here. This is for when we slide out just to that little bit deeper rock, say that 6 to 12, maybe 14-foot range, if we're really trying to get out there and you know, fish those little bit deeper staging fish. Now, as far as the line, I throw the exact same line on this as well. 12-pound Seaguar InvizX on him, the exact same reel as well, the Corrado 6.2. Now, as far as baits, this is a rock crawler. Everybody knows this is tried and true. This really gets down to those depths extremely well. There's lots of great options in this range, but the rock crawler seems to be my favorite for that depth range. You can see again, we got brown, orange, crawfish looking colors right there. That is the go-to in the spring. Now, for these little bit deeper diving baits, I do use a little bit different rod. So again, this is the Phoenix cranking series, but this is the X12. So now this is a 7'6". So we've added a little length to the rod, and it helps me because generally if you're fishing that little bit deeper rock, you're going to be offshore a little bit. You're going to be off the bank. You're going to be casting open water. You're not really trying to get a square bill up tight to the bank or into a tight piece of cover. You're open water, so you can use that longer length of the rod to make a longer cast. And then always when I'm crankbait fishing, I like to have a longer rod to allow the rod to fight that fish more than anything I could do, or control it with the reel. You know, you want that rod to be bending and doing all the work and handling those surges, those head shakes, and it really helps you land more fish. So I like the X12. It's that 7'6" and a little bit extra length. Now, like I said, same line, same reel, everything, but I like the little bit longer rod for that deeper cranking when I get off of the bank just a little bit further. So that's the nitty gritty of it, guys. Now, as far as locations and what you're looking for there, you know, for me, I'm always looking at the end goal. You know, you're looking at where those bass potentially may be going to spawn. So you're going to be looking for those pockets that the fish are going to be spawning in, and you kind of back out and find those lead-in banks or those secondary points that have rock on them. Those are going to be the first places to start in the spring, because those fish that are sliding into pockets, they're going to kind of stage on those points, those rocks out there, and then kind of work their way back further to spawn. So that's an excellent place to start, is right there on those secondary points and kind of lead in banks off of the main lake or the main river that's got some rock on them, obviously. Now, type of rock, it really depends on your fishery. Some places they like pea gravel better than, you know, chunk rock. Some places it's all about riprap. You never really know. That's very fishery dependent. But you just got to get out there and try it. And hopefully this video helped you guys out. Hopefully you learned something from this video, and hopefully you can use this, take this information and get out on your lake and catch some bass cranking this spring. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, leave me those likes, comments, good stuff down below. Don't forget, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next time.